Guys, it's travel talk time once again, and we are talking cruising. It's one of my favorite subjects. As you know, I have been traveling the world professionally for, 2 decades in hopes of helping you make the most out of your next vacation. And that very next vacation may in fact be a cruise, which is why in this particular video, we are going to discuss the top 5 most frequently asked questions I get about cruising. Now, before we go any further, let's be very clear. We're talking about ocean cruising here. Now, you can basically classify cruises into 3 different categories: ocean, river cruising, and what I like to call sightseeing cruises and all the other cruises out there. So here is question number 1. What are the best destinations for a cruise? Well, that is a great question because popular cruise destinations include the number 1 most popular is the Caribbean, then the Mediterranean, then Alaska, Hawaii, the Baltic Sea, Southeast Asia, and the South Pacific. Now, each of these, of course, offers unique experiences from tropical beaches to ancient ruins and stunning glaciers. But to be more direct with an answer to your question, what is the best place to cruise? Well, that remains completely up to you and what you are looking to achieve on your next cruise vacation. All right, let's move on to question number 2. What is the best time of year to take a cruise? Well, I'm going to switch that up just a little bit, and I'm going to tell you my favorite time of year to take a cruise in certain places around the world as opposed to best. Because remember, every place in the world, including cruise destinations, have peak season, value season, and shoulder season, and that all has to do with the weather and who's going to be there and how many people are there. Maybe it's off season, maybe it's low season. So that certainly is in play here. But my favorite places to go include the Caribbean, and I like going sometime between December and about April. In terms of the Mediterranean, I would say April to June, and the fall, September to November. Alaska cruise season, pretty much from May until September. Speaking of which, my cruisers helped me out a little bit. When was the last cruise you were on? What did you like about it? What didn't you like about it? When did you go? Let me know in the comments below. Let's move on to question number 3 on Travel Talk today. What is included in the cruise fare? Man, oh man, this is a huge topic because there's a lot of confusion with new cruisers on this particular subject. So here's what I want you to think about. Unlike a resort or a hotel, cruise pricing is based on a per person double occupancy. That's going to cover your accommodations. That's going to cover your meals, most of the entertainment, access to most of the onboard facilities. But this is where it gets a little tricky. Specialty dining, for instance. Now, there are lots of restaurants on board these big ships that are absolutely complimentary or included in the cost of your fare. And then there are specialty restaurants as well, which you are paying a cover charge to attend. Things like drink packages, that sometimes is up to you. It does depend upon what line you're on, whether you're on an all-inclusive package or a pay-as-you-go package. These shore excursions, spa appointments, and sometimes even gratuities can all be extra. It is incredibly important that that is one of the questions you ask when you are doing your research. When you're asking a qualified travel professional, or if you're asking the line itself, what's included, what's extra, what's the average? What should I expect to pay? They have that data and they will give it to you. Let's move on to question number 4. It's another classic. How do I choose the right cruise line and ship? Oh my gosh, this is another potential vacation killer, okay? Listen, who's on board with you does matter, so it's okay to ask. In other words, if you're thinking about going on a Carnival cruise, we're going to do a little word association in this video because I think that might be fun. But when you're talking to Carnival, you could say, hey, this looks like a really good itinerary here. These are places I want to go. This is a duration that I like. 7 day, 5 days, a perfect duration, especially for a first timer. You're going to see 3 ports of call, maybe 2, sometimes 4. You'll be exposed to their private islands, which is also great for sunbathing and snorkeling and water sports and zip lining and whatever. But it's okay to ask them, okay, there's 2,000 people on board. Who is on board? Is it families? Is it couples? Is it maybe a little older crowd? Is it a younger crowd? Think of it this way. The longer the itinerary, 21 days, 14 days, 10 days, the crowd tends to be a little on the older side. Why is that? Well, because they have more discretionary income and more time on their hands. A lot of them are retired. The shorter the itinerary, the more I would call them tire kickers you're going to find on board. People who aren't used to being on cruise ships. When you're on a 2-day itinerary or a 3-day, that's why I recommend a 5-day itinerary or a 7 or a 6 is a perfect duration, especially for a first-time cruiser. Now, keep in mind, not all lines are created equal. Not all ships are created equal. So I'm going to run through a few of the top lines out there. We're going to do a little word association, one word per line. Here we go. Royal Caribbean, family. Carnival, fun. Norwegian, entertainment. Disney, Disney. Princess, immersion. Holland America, classic. Celebrity, modern. Virgin, adults only. I know it's 2 words, but no kids on board. MSC, new Italian. If you don't have a qualified travel professional, now is the time to get one. And what I mean by qualified means that this person understands this particular cruise line, okay? Now, you can buy direct from the cruise lines, or you can buy your cruise vacation from a third party. But again, ask a lot of questions up front. It's super, super important because cruising is such a fun vacation experience. The cruise industry enjoys one of the highest retention rates in the world, meaning once people get on a cruise, they like to return, and for good reason. That sums it up for this week's Travel Talk. I am Erik the Travel Guy. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like this video if you found it informational, share it with some friends, and subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. Happy travels. I will see you in line at security.